Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be using this wood chip board piece which I got from, I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of who sent this to me. It was from one of the Your Paper Pantry ATC swaps, and it's fabulous because it is wood. And it has this beautiful the Tour Eiffel on the cover, and it's even gold. Ooh, focus, focus. Ooh. Focus. Hold on. Why is it not focusing? Okay. It even has a matte gold back on it. So I thought this would make a great little notebook. So what I did is I traced it. I've already done this part. I traced it on a piece of medium weight chipboard and punched 2 holes just by poking a piece of my pencil lead to mark where the holes are. I did make them a little larger because I am going to use some finishing eyelets, and I'm just going to put them on rings, but I'm going to fill it with watercolor paper, but I thought it might be nice to find some paper for the back, either front or the inside of the back. So what I've done so far, I just grabbed some of the Prima papers, and I think some of them might go. Like there's a little bit of peach in this image, kind of across the skyline, and blue. So I've already pulled out some of my blues and peach bling and pearls. So I have that all on the standby. I also pulled out some of these lovely lilies and kind of like robin's egg blue, which is really cool, because that matches some of the blue elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the actual notebook, put it on rings, and then decorate the cover, because I figure I could still use it because it's going to be on rings by opening this, and the bottom part where the papers are going to be is going to lie flat. So I am recording this, and I have a lovely contingency of crafters who are keeping me company, so from time to time you'll hear me answering questions, and I'll try to repeat the question so it doesn't seem all one-sided. So the first one I'm going to take a look at, and I'm keeping this for inspiration nearby, is the almanac stack. Oh, this would be a great page, and it picks up on all the vintagey colors, so I'll keep that in mind. This is nice for scale too. See, this is going to be the hardest part, is editing out which one to really use. That might be a little too dark. Although this one is, I think, the identical peach. Look at that. So maybe I could use this on the outside and then this one on the inside. You can use a stainless pin, so that won't rust. And even better, if you can find, and we're talking about glossy accents, how to prevent it from clogging, is to use a Teflon coated pin. How do you know it's stainless? Hopefully when you bought the package. What you could do is you could put one of the pins from a pack that you have inside a little dish of water, leave it for a day or two. If you don't see any rust, with a little bit of water, if you don't see any rust developing, then you know it's stainless. Yeah, you can always do a little science experiment. It's beautiful paper. Chickens! I'm gonna have to keep this in mind for my chicken mini, which I have not started yet, but that will be a Ustream series as well of my chicks. Oh, there's another one. Oh, I love the toile. See, this is what happens. You pick up a pack of paper, and then you forget all the gorgeous pages that are in it. It's a nice peach. I think those 2 initial pages are going to be the winners. That's nice too. More of a little green hue to that pattern. There's another peach if I really want to bring peach in. This is the Prima Almanac Collection 6x6. Actually, you know what I could do is I could intersperse between the watercolor papers some of these pages because they go so well with this image. So let me just do that, because then I'll pull out, and they're single-sided, so I can have all sorts of drawing room on the other side. Alright, so I've pulled that one out. I think I definitely want to have one of these. Maybe one of these. So then it'll be like a sketchbook / little smash book. Oh, I'm very tempted to pull out one of these. Well, why not? And then I can even embellish with some of these little itty bitty pieces. Okay, I like that one. And there's 3 sheets of each pattern. So I think I'm going to use one of these for the back page. Okay, so that's the Almanac Prima. I'm going to grab another Prima, which is Nature Garden, hopefully to bring in some of the blues. And I have other papers. I think I have an Authentique that has some blue. It doesn't have to be exclusively Prima, it's just I thought of this Prima paper one. So I'm going to use these. Set them somewhere where I won't forget. Okay, so this is the Nature Garden. A lot of people are reporting problems logging in. Hopefully everyone's able to. This is Prima Nature Garden. And this is more gray hues, grays and blues. Although this is lovely and that would go. So why don't we mix packs? Nothing says we can't, right? Actually, this particular page has all the same hues. It has the blues and peachy skin tones. So I'll have to keep that one in mind. I think this one's a little too dark. It's a pretty page. All the birds. Like that one. Oh, and there's French writing on this one. Collaged page. And I picked up these particular stacks of Prima paper from Uzak.com. I think they were very reasonably priced. I'm going to say under $5. Okay, so we did pull out some of the Nature Garden, and then I have one more, which is en français, which would be theme-wise perfect, but I see that it's a lot of muted reds. So let's take a look at that one. So this is en français 6x6. Yeah, it's definitely more, although this blue is similar. Nice texture, like looking burlap background, homespun. Oh, look at this fleur-de-lis. Definitely have to pull this one out. Nice introduction of blue. Spirit of the Past. Okay, we have to pull out this Eiffel Tower one. Welcome back, Barb. I'm still just picking through some of the papers because although I want to have watercolor paper, hi Fiona, I definitely want to have some, I kind of like this with the blues as well. I'm going to have some pattern papers in between. Oh, see how my spine is cracking on this? Good thing I keep them in little plastic sleeves so they don't get completely tousled around. I have to keep in mind some of these for the cutout. So that was the off monthly. So we have that, and I think that's plenty to play with for now. Let me grab my trimmer, and we'll decide on the size of the interior pages. Let me grab my little ruler. So the front and back cover is shy of 3.5 by 5.5. So if I do 3.25 by 5.25. So 3.25 by 5.25. So don't forget, I'll have my little cheat sheet. So interior 3.25 by 5.25. That's what I said, right? Yep. Which is 80 millimeters by 13.5. Eight centimeters by 13.5, right? 8 by 13.45. Okay. We have that resolved. Let me grab my papers. I'm gonna make sure I don't lose these. My little double eyelets. I won't put those on until I put the paper on. And let me pick out the paper for the front and back. So I have a nice collection of the various Prima papers. So I wanted to have this on the inside back page and this on the outside. So that's going to bring a lot of the peach out of the cover. So it'll be a peach and blue. And then the rest of them are just for fun to have in between. And then I need to grab my paper. So do I want to, I think I want to concentrate on, so 3.25 by 5.25. This will be the interior. And I think I'm going to have to put this on and trace around it because the paper is this is an unusual size, or it's unusual shape. So I'm trying to match the front cover. And That's probably going to be the best way to do that. Let me see if I can find a little paintbrush. And my adhesive of choice. Let's see, what am I going to use? I'm going to use the multi-medium matte from Claudine Hellmuth. My husband's watching something about Jesse James in the other room, and I hear. Okay. I'm going to do a thin coat at first. I definitely chose the wrong, it's a stippling brush. It's the first thing I grabbed. We'll have to make do, right? If you hear gunshots, it's from the TV in the living room. Well, I don't know if you can hear anything over the fan sound. The chickens are fabulous. They're loving not being in the house. I know I have to do a video of where they're living now. They got some more cracked corn today, and I mixed their favorite roasted mealworms into their food. Those girls are spoiled. We got them for eggs, not for eating, just for egg layers. I don't think I have a paper towel in here. And actually, we talked to a chicken farmer this morning at the farmer's market, and they have an extra egg layer, beautiful black star, so we might actually get her next week. I'm a little concerned about introducing her into an already developed flock because the 6 girls have been together since they were chicks. Yeah, they're gonna be spoiled. They're already spoiled. Please, it's like they're getting the filet mignon of chicken food. To make sure I remove some of the glue from the hole. I'm just gonna leave this down for a minute. It dries pretty quickly. And then, ooh, no, don't want that. Don't want to spill it. I'm just going to use my trick wet. I'm just going to put that on there for a minute until I use it for the other side. And I am going to use my X-Acto knife to cut that because it's an unusual shape. So let me see if I rotate my little. There it is. Yeah, the chickens are quite spoiled. They're lovely. And we ordered some duck eggs for next Saturday. And had asked a whole bunch of questions of the chicken farmer, and it's a young family. They could not be more than, I would say they're probably in their maybe mid-20s. They have a 4 or 5 year old, and then they're selling off one of their Black Star chickens for $20, which, you know, for a chicken that's already laying age, like our chickens probably won't start laying until they're 17 to 20 weeks old, depending on their breed, because we have 3 different types. So we'll have to see how they do. And I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I have to do some research and find out whether I would be disrupting the current flock because they've grown up with each other by bringing in a fully grown mature chicken. And by mature I mean she's an egg layer, so I think she's 20 or 25 weeks old. She's gorgeous. I did get her on video actually, and I think that video is uploading right now. I'm just using my sanding block to get the fine edges off my desk so I don't have all that refuse on my desk. It's the easiest way to get the fine match to the edges. Well, you know, if anything, I mean, I'm not going to kid you, I had a hissy fit the other day, and I threw the chickens in my husband's face. Not literally, figuratively. And I said, I did not sign up to be a farmer, and I think I was just really frustrated. I had hurt my ankle or foot, because I think one of my dogs fell asleep on it, and I went to turn, and he was still on it, so my foot's swollen, and just, I was in a foul mood, and I took it out on him. So, perfectly attached. Love this stuff. Love this stuff. And I admitted, I apologized, and we moved on. So I think I want to try and grab as much of the center image as I can for the outside. Actually, yeah, I think I have to do it this way because, wait a minute. No, I think that has to be on the outside because it's a particular shape. No, maybe it is that this way. It doesn't really matter. I'll figure it out. Yeah, you know how that happens? You have a breaking point. Everybody does, and mine broke, and I found my breaking point. Just had a hissy fit. It just, I don't know what it was. I don't even remember. It blew over quickly. Sticky and tacky pages. Do you know what they're sticky or tacky from? Okay, Mod Podge, you would have to spray it with a sealer. You know, if you look in the fine art department for fixative, I think it's called fixative, for like if you have pencil drawings and you don't want them to change color, you spray on some fixative, you could do that. It'll stop them from being tacky. Matte medium, I try my best to only put it on one side of the paper. Then you don't have any of that stick, like there is nothing sticky about it, and you see it's like, see, I'm trying to get the edge up and you can't. It's really on. I found some fixative from my college days, and I looked at the can and it was old and crusty, so I threw that out. I have to pick up some more. I really like the matte medium but I found through trial and error the first time I used it. And Sarah, who's 3 dogs and 2 kids, is the one who turned me on to it. You do have to use fixative in a well-ventilated area. If you can't, even take it outside, so long as you don't have a lot of pollen, because the last thing you want is to attach pollen to your project. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do that. And since this was sitting on a moist towel, that should be all good to go and not get crunchy. There's nothing worse than a crunchy surface. So I'm going to try and center the back to be that. I'm going to try not to go to the edges, or I'm going to go to the edges but not on the edge, and I'll wipe off whatever goes on the edge, because I'm going to use, I think, my brass pen, or that marker I just got, the Krylon, which creates a really lovely finished edge. So I'm not really distressing this. It's not, I don't have that feel for it. Yeah, I definitely needed a fan brush for this to give quick coverage. This works too. I'm gonna make sure I get the edges nice and liberally covered so I can get good adhesion. Okay, so I'm gonna line up the paper and I'm going to eyeball it. So it's a 6 by 6, so if I place it between the 3, like that, hopefully that gets the image I want. Cover this up as soon as you can so you don't get that crusty film on it, kind of like on pudding. Alright, I just put some antibacterial on my hands. If you're using the spray fixative indoors, try to spray it near an open window and then turn a fan on so you can disperse that from your workspace. I'm just going to take this and wipe it off because I'm not going to make it to the sink right away. I'm going to try and get as much of that off as I can. Hopefully that's good. Okay, so I'm going to do another rough cut around the periphery, and you know what, I might use just to make sure I don't cut into the chipboard. Yeah, this is a really oddly shaped. It's a great image. I mean, the moment I saw it, I knew I wanted to use it. The shape is kind of unusual. Okay, I'm gonna save the pieces to maybe use elsewhere in the little booklet. Again, I'm going to take my block and just go off screen for a minute to get that frayed edge perfectly sharp. And when you're working on freshly glued down page, definitely go in one direction only, because if you go one way and the other, all you're going to do is going to peel up the edge that you just worked so hard to glue down. Okay, simple as that. Make sure I don't have any residue. Nothing sticky. Everything's on. I need to do one more hole punch and then I could put the eyelets on for the back page. I don't think the eyelets will work on this, but I'll try. Yeah, I don't think they'll fit in the front cover. Yeah, it's okay. What I might do is use a little piece of decorative black cover stock. Just kind of fake eyelet. I sand the edges in order to have a clean edge rather than just rely on the trim with the X-Acto knife. What it does is it makes the paper that have just been adhered flush with the chipboard or wood or whatever it is you're covering, and it gives you a really smooth finish. Plus it also suppresses the fraying, like the separation from the page, because you come definitely to an edge. And I do it at an angle, all in one direction at an angle like this. And then it takes a tiny little bit of the page, like you can see there's a tiny little bit of white exposed, but I'm going to be going over that with my Krylon copper pen, so I'll cover that up. But it gives it a really nice smooth finish, and there's no pulled up paper anywhere, so it's less likely over time to come up that way. Alright, let me poke out my little and re-poke these. I hope everyone's staying cool today. Much of the US is under heat advisory. Okay, and now I can do the eyelets. So let me just make sure I know which one is the back page. Okay, that's the peach one is going to be the back page. I think that's how it lines up. Is that lining up? Yeah, I think it's the peach one. So I'm going to take the eyelet, one end, the one with the thicker stem, into the back, and then the thinner stem on top of that, and set it this way. So then I have a finished front and back. And I have to refer to my little cheat sheets. I have to close my container. Okay. 2-part eyelets. A2. So A2. I'm going to do one at a time. Squeeze. It doesn't take a lot of pressure to set these two-part ones. Just a little squeeze. And then your perfectly finished eyelets on both sides. That's done. And I'm just going to create a couple of faux eyelets for the front. So I'm going to use this itty bitty McGill punch and this 1/2 inch punch. Just grab a little scrap of black paper and I'm going to first punch the smaller hole because it's always easier to center a larger circle around smaller ones. I have the 2 holes. Now I'm going to take the 1/2 inch and center that. And it just bounced on my shirt. It's black, I'll find it though. And then center it the same way for this one. It would be more difficult to do the larger circle and then try to center the already punched out larger circle around the smaller one. So I'm just gonna put these, oh, those are too big. Alright, let me rethink that. Let me do this one. I think this one might be a little too small. Let me use a crocodile one. Yeah, the weather's been absolutely crazy. So again, I have the 2 holes, and then I'm gonna take the 1/2 inch and center the already punched hole in the center of it. So that's easier than trying to do it the other way around. I don't know if I like that. Alright, I might have to put that on the back burner. At least I've made them if I need them. And I just store these inside my little case. Hi, Annette. Okay. So I have the back and the front, and the back of this is a matte gold. Now I have a gold. Actually, I think that might match better as this matte gold. So it's a Krylon pen, Shortcuts, and this is edged in gold all along here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing but to the chipboard. So I'm going to shake it because that's how you, ooh, that's what you're supposed to do, just like, it sounds just like, listen, like a spray paint. I don't remember specifically the brand of these 2-part eyelets. I have tried to find them online for close to a year now. I believe that they were either Doris. I don't think they came from the scrapbooking or crafting area. I think they came from sewing. So I've yet to find these 2, and I have only a little bit left, only a few of them left. So I'm a little eager to find those. So this is what I'm going to do. I need to do the depression on the scrap piece of paper. So I'm just going to initiate the paint just by pressing down and then edge the chipboard. And because chipboard is so fibrous, You're gonna have to do this multiple times so to keep it flowing, and it creates a really nice finished edge. Once I go over the, and it is quick drying, it's spray paint just in a pen, it'll match the front cover. Once it dries a little, I'll go over a little bit in the end or on each side, and then I'll show you closer to the camera exactly what that looks like. Again, it's really porous, so it's gonna soak up the paint. So that's why I keep depressing it on the page. I don't want to put the pressure on the chipboard. I can see it soaking in, like literally, it's like a little sponge. Okay. Hopefully that'll focus so you could see the gold. So now I'm just going to check the front and the back of these pages to do a little bit of, and there you can see the gold. And it's a nice matte gold. It's not, even though I don't like gold, I'm not finding it obnoxious. And it's a nice even coverage. It's easy because it's a chisel. It's very easy to just lean it against and it flows really easily. See that beautiful edge? And again, if you're not getting a really good clear image right now, I will do a YouTube video of a finished, once this project is finished, with close-ups. So there you can see a hint of the gold. I'm just going to lay this on the paper for a minute to make sure it sets up. It's pretty quick. So I got this in my local hardware store, and this copper one I got at AC Moore for super duper sale. I think it was like $2 or $3 recently. And they last quite a bit. And I have them in white, red, black, silver, this gold. Doesn't have the name of it. I should have remember what name it is. This is copper leaf, and this one I think it's just, and this might be antique gold. I just store them standing up in a little Dollar Tree cup, little metal storage cup of my quick accessories, quick grab accessories. Okay. Alright, so we have the front cover and the back cover, and I also have, I pulled out the, oh see, I did touch it. Oh, I touched the paper, that's what that is. See where I depressed on it? It's antibacterial. It's like my best friend. I always keep a bottle of it in my office. Okay, so I did pull out some paper effects, which I think I might use later to finish off. And this one is Golden Gold, which is also that kind of matte gold. It's never been opened, but I think I definitely have to mix this up. And this has an uber fine tip, and I have to show you just how fine a tip it is. I put it off to the side. Look at this size of that tip. So you could totally write with it. There's even a little stopper pin in it. So it goes on this like that. So I thought it'd be nice to, maybe I'll sign the back of it with my name. Dimensional paint. I have it in this golden gold. I have golden pearl, and you see they are noticeably different golds. This one is much more like buttercup yellow, and this one is more muted. So I'll use one of those. Make sure I don't misplace that. I also have that in pearl blue, and I think another color. I'm just checking my little rotary. Oh, I don't see it off the top of my, So I'm definitely going to use this one. Okay, let's see. So the paper is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4, 8 by 13.5 centimeters. So that's the inside pages. So I can throw this out with the ink on it. Okay, ladies and gents, I'm going to take a quick break, grab a drink if you want to do the same, and I'll be back to create the interior pages. I'm going to stop the recording here, and then we'll start it up for part 2 after everyone's had a chance to go grab a drink, and I'll be back in a few minutes.